There is a powerful truth that often goes unnoticed in the rush of modern life. The final moments before sleep are the most sacred, the most transformative, and the most overlooked. While the world may teach you to worry, to replay your failures, or to scroll endlessly through distractions, those who rise above the ordinary know a secret. The mind is most impressionable right before sleep. It is in that quiet space between wakefulness and dreams where destiny is shaped. The subconscious mind does not rest when you do. It listens. It absorbs. It takes the last thoughts you feed it and works tirelessly through the night to mold your emotions, your attitude, your habits, and your decisions. What you say to yourself before your head touches the pillow doesn't just affect your sleep. It affects your life. Those few minutes carry the weight of gold. So, what should you do with them? Speak life. Speak power. Speak vision. Declare your purpose. Declare your strength. Declare your gratitude. Say this with conviction. I am not a prisoner of today's results. I am the author of tomorrow's reality. I am strong. I am focused. I am filled with purpose. All that I seek is seeking me. Why is this powerful? Because repetition is the language of the subconscious. What is repeated becomes remembered, and what is remembered becomes reality. The mind is like a compass. It follows the direction you give it. If your last thoughts are filled with fear or doubt, your compass spins in confusion. But if your last thoughts are of direction, of confidence, and of belief, then your compass points steadily toward success. This is not about blind optimism. This is about mental discipline. It's about choosing to control your thoughts rather than letting them control you. And every night, you are given a choice. Will you rehearse the limitations of your past, or will you speak the possibilities of your future? One path leads to more of the same. The other leads to transformation. Before you sleep, you are either programming your mind for success or allowing it to default into failure. The power is in your hands. The words are your tools. The intention is your engine. And the results, they begin the very next morning. Say this every night. I am grateful for what I have. I am calm about what I cannot control. I am confident about what's coming. Let these words settle into your spirit. Let them calm the storms inside you. Let them remind you that no matter how chaotic your day has been, your thoughts are still yours to command. And when you learn to command your thoughts, you begin to command your world. The moment you prepare for sleep is not the end of your day. It is the beginning of your next. Most people fail to understand this. They collapse into bed, burdened by stress, haunted by regret, or numbed by distractions, unaware that their final thoughts before sleep are shaping their future. The subconscious mind, that silent force operating behind the curtain of awareness, does not sleep when you do. It listens, absorbs, and follows your last instructions. That's why what you say every night matters. Imagine your mind as a garden, and your thoughts as seeds. At night, the soil is softer. The gates of resistance are lowered. Whatever you plant at that hour takes root deeply. Most plant worry, doubt, complaints, or fear, and they wonder why they wake up feeling tired, anxious, and uninspired. But what if, instead, you chose to plant strength? What if you chose to plant gratitude, vision, and unshakable belief? Each night, before you close your eyes, you hold a brush. With it, you paint tomorrow's reality. You can choose to rehearse failure, or you can choose to rehearse power. You can relive the chaos of the day, or you can affirm your focus for tomorrow. The tool is in your hand, and the canvas is your mind. The power of spoken affirmation lies in repetition with belief. Say it not as a wish, but as a command. Speak into your life with conviction. I am not my mistakes. I am not my fears. I am becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with my purpose each day. These are not empty words. They are instructions. And your mind obeys instructions. That is its nature. What you tell it repeatedly, it accepts as truth, even if it began as imagination. Over time, imagination becomes belief, and belief becomes behavior. Behavior, repeated consistently, becomes identity. This is how transformation occurs, not in a sudden flash of inspiration, but through disciplined, nightly training of the mind. It is the nightly renewal of your self-image, a reminder of your potential, a cleansing of the mental clutter you collected during the day. When you affirm strength, you are telling your future self how to act. When you affirm gratitude, you are training your brain to notice abundance. When you affirm purpose, you are lighting the path ahead. Let this be your nightly ritual. Breathe deeply, calm your body, and declare, I am calm, I am grateful, I am powerful. Tomorrow is already aligning in my favor. I trust the process, and I trust myself. Say it with faith. Say it with meaning. Let it echo within you as you drift into sleep. And you'll find over time that your nights are no longer a surrender to exhaustion, but a preparation for greatness. Because when you master your nights, your days will begin to obey. You work. When you lie in bed at the end of the day, your mind is at its most vulnerable, but also its most powerful. The day's distractions have quieted. You work. Your conscious defenses are lowered, and in that stillness, your subconscious becomes wide open to suggestion. This is why what you say to yourself before sleep is not a routine. It is a ritual. It is a sacred practice, one that can determine not only how you rest while they watch you work, but how you rise. Most people use that time to worry. Winners use it to program. And those who lead extraordinary lives understand that every word said before sleep is a blueprint for tomorrow's reality. Understand this. Your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. It simply accepts what is repeatedly given to it. And over time, that accepted input becomes your automatic response. So, if your nightly self-talk is filled with fear, resentment, or hopelessness, you are training yourself to live in that state. But when you end your day with powerful, clear, intentional affirmations, you begin to build a mind that attracts clarity, confidence, and opportunities. Consider how a pilot sets the direction of an aircraft before takeoff. The coordinates are locked in long before the wheels leave the ground. Your mind works the same way. When you go to sleep, your thoughts are setting the course. Well, your subconscious will continue flying in that direction all night, working behind the scenes, influencing how you interpret the world the next day. If you program it with doubt, it will find reasons to confirm your doubt. But if you program it with vision, it will seek solutions aligned with that vision. This is why it's not enough to merely be positive. You must be precise. Clarity is power. Every night, speak exactly what you want your life to reflect, not vague hopes, but firm decisions. Say, I am attracting the right opportunities. I am healing mentally and physically. I am capable of achieving great things. My mind is calm and I am in control. These declarations are not for the world to hear. They are for your inner world to absorb. Repetition is the engine. Emotion is the fuel. Say it with passion, and your mind will begin to align with it. Soon, the fear that once controlled you begins to weaken. The hesitation that once held you back begins to dissolve. You are no longer just reacting to life. You are creating it. Night after night. Let this be your truth. The person you become is not born in the morning. It is shaped in the silence of the night. So do not take that moment lightly. Use it to direct your life, to renew your spirit, to whisper to your soul the future you are building. You work, and when you do it with intention, you'll find that the world begins to rise to meet your words. Because your words are powerful, you work, and your mind is always listening. Every night you are offered a quiet moment, a sacred opportunity to reshape your life, not through action, but through intention. Most people view nighttime as simply a break from the chaos, a physical rest for a tired body. You work, but those who understand the laws of the mind know that night is not the end. It is the seed of the beginning. When your body rests, your mind doesn't sleep. It listens, it processes, it remembers, and it creates. You work. That's why what you say every night before sleep isn't just important. It's essential to transformation. The truth is, while they watch, you are constantly becoming what you repeatedly tell yourself you are. Your thoughts, your self-talk, you work, your inner dialogue, they are the instructions for who you will be tomorrow. But the tragedy is that many use this power recklessly. They let self-doubt whisper lies. They allow fear to echo louder than faith. They let regrets of the day replay like broken records. And so they wake up with the same weight they carried to bed. Nothing changes because the internal story never changes. But there is another path. You work. You can become the author of your identity. You can speak to yourself every night with words that heal, empower, and guide. You can speak words that clarify your purpose and ignite your drive. You can sing, I release the weight of today. I forgive what I cannot change. I choose peace. I choose strength. I am aligned with my highest self. These are not empty affirmations. You work. These are deliberate instructions to the most powerful part of your being. Think about it. The most influential voice in your life is not your boss, not your parents, not your critics. It is your own, the one that speaks in silence, the one that no one hears but you. And when you master that voice, you master your emotions, you master your mindset, you master your results. Now, imagine programming your mind with gratitude before sleep. You shift from lack to abundance. You start to see the beauty in your journey, even if it's messy. Imagine ending your day with certainty instead of confusion, with faith instead of fear. Your energy changes, your sleep deepens, your focus sharpens. And slowly but surely, your life begins to reflect the inner world you've been shaping. This practice is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing your direction. It's about taking ownership of your future. When you close your eyes with intention, you wake up with clarity. When you fall asleep with purpose, you rise with power. So speak it tonight. Speak your vision. Speak your courage. Speak your peace. You work. Let the last words of your day be the first building blocks of a greater tomorrow. Because every night, while they watch you work, you have the chance to begin again. And that beginning starts with what you say when the world goes quiet. The mind is a tool more powerful than any external force, and yet most people never learn how to use it intentionally, especially when it matters most. The final minutes before sleep are not just about winding down. They are a portal into transformation. They are when your mind is most relaxed, most open. They watch and most programmable. In that fragile state between waking and dreaming, your subconscious becomes a sponge. You work. And the words you speak to yourself during that time go deeper than anything you say during the day, while they watch you work. That's why it's critical to guard those moments with awareness and speak only what serves your growth. What you declare at night becomes the emotional and mental blueprint for the next day. If you go to sleep saying, I'm tired, I'm failing, I can't handle this, your mind accepts that as truth and begins to build a life around it. But if you go to sleep declaring, I am strong, I am progressing, I am attracting the resources I need, your subconscious responds by searching for proof of that truth and guiding your behavior accordingly. You must understand this repetition with emotional intensity creates belief. And belief is what changes behavior. It's not enough to wish for change. You work, you must train your mind for change. And training your mind begins when the world is quiet and the noise of the day has faded. That's your opportunity, not just to rest, but to rise internally. Each night, speak life into your future. Speak power into your purpose. Speak healing into your heart. Say it as if your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Say, I am becoming the version of myself I was born to be. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. I trust that what is meant for me is finding its way to me. While they work, and I will be ready. Let these words be your nighttime nourishment. Don't just say them, feel them. The emotional vibration behind your words is what signals your subconscious to believe. When you pair belief with feeling, while they watch you activate the creative force within you, your dreams begin to align. Your behavior begins to shift. Your life begins to take shape in ways you never thought possible. This is not fantasy. It is discipline. This is not magic. It is mental science. While they watch you work, the thoughts you plant with belief watered by repetition grow into habits, then outcomes, then a new reality. You work. That's why the habit of nightly affirmation isn't optional for those who desire greatness. It's essential. Before you drift off, repeat with certainty, while I am not who I was yesterday, I am better. I am wiser. I am on the path that leads to my highest self. Let that message be the final one your mind absorbs before rest. Because when you begin to speak like the person you want to become, your mind begins to act like it's already true. And soon, your world begins to reflect it. You work. There is a reason why some people seem to move through life with clarity, confidence, and direction, while others remain stuck in cycles of doubt, confusion, and fear. The difference is not luck, talent, or circumstance. The difference lies in how they manage their internal world, especially in the quiet hours of the night, before sleep, when your conscious mind finally lets go. You work, your subconscious takes the lead, and it is in that moment, that sacred transition, where the most profound transformation begins. You work. Most people spend those final minutes reliving stress, scrolling through distractions, or replaying their mistakes. While they work, they unknowingly program their mind with anxiety, regret, or disappointment, then wonder why they wake up feeling heavy. While they watch you work, but those who understand the true power of this time do something different. They take command of their thoughts. While they watch you work, they use words not to reflect their current reality, but to declare their future. While they work, they understand that their nighttime routine is not just about sleep, it's about creation. While they work, what you say to yourself in those last few moments becomes a silent instruction to your mind. And your mind, being obedient to repetition, begins to follow that command. If you affirm strength, it begins to build mental resilience. If you affirm peace, it starts to let go of tension. If you affirm purpose, it helps you recognize opportunities that align with your goals. This is not abstract theory. It is the foundation of mental conditioning. Every successful person you admire, whether they realize it or not, has practiced some form of self-suggestion. They have told themselves the story of who they are becoming until that story became reality. And you can do the same. Start tonight. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel motivated. Speak what you need into existence. Say, I am not lost. I am learning. I am not behind. I am building. I am not broken. I am becoming whole. Let these words guide you into rest, not as desperate hopes, but as undeniable truths in the making. This process rewires your self-image. You begin to see yourself differently, act differently, and make different decisions. Not because the world changed, but because you changed how you speak to yourself. And as your self-image improves, your standards rise. You stop tolerating mediocrity. You stop negotiating with fear. You start walking in alignment with your future. But this power only belongs to the consistent. A single night of affirmation will not rewrite years of negative thinking, but daily repetition, spoken with conviction, will. The mind does not resist what it hears consistently. It accepts it. So give it something worth believing. Give it something work. Tonight, before you sleep, say it again. I am worthy of growth. I am capable of greatness. While they watch you work, I am walking into a future better than my past. Speak it, believe it, rest in it. While they watch you work, and let the power of your own words do what they were always meant to do. Build the life you deserve. Each day you live is shaped not only by the actions you take, but also by the thoughts you think. And the thoughts you think just before you sleep hold a unique and lasting influence. You work, while most of the world goes to bed simply seeking rest. Those who are building something greater go to bed with purpose. You work. They understand that the moments before sleep are not just for relaxation, but for transformation. In that brief window, while you are face to face with your most powerful tool, your mind, open and ready to receive whatever message you feed it, you have a choice to make every night. When they watch you work, you can either let your day's negativity linger and follow you into tomorrow, or you can use your final thoughts to clean the mental slate and program something greater. This is the secret of high achievers, visionaries, and creators. They don't leave their mental state to chance. They direct it. They speak into it. They mold it before the world does. While you work, when you speak powerful affirmations with clarity and emotional intensity before bed, you're not just wishing for a better life. You are laying the foundation for one. The words you choose are not random. They are instructions, commands, declarations. When spoken with belief, they bypass logic and settle into your subconscious, which doesn't question your words. It simply accepts them. You work. It then uses those instructions as a reference point for your behaviors, your emotions, and your decision-making processes. This is how inner transformation becomes outer results. Say this every night before you sleep. I am in control of my life. I am aligned with my vision. You work. I trust the timing of my growth. Everything I need is already on its way to me. These words are not magic. They are direction. They point your mind toward growth rather than survival, toward progress rather than fear. And over time, repetition forges belief. Belief reshapes identity. Identity drives behavior. And behavior builds the life you desire. It's important to understand that your future self isn't created in bursts of motivation, but in disciplined routines. Speaking truth to yourself before sleep is one such routine. It clears away the mental debris, heals the wounds of the day, and centers your focus on what matters. It reminds you that you are not a slave to circumstances. You are the creator of them. The beauty of this practice is that it requires nothing but intention. No technology, no expense, no audience. Just your voice, your words, and your willingness to believe. And when you begin to speak words of power consistently, the mind begins to believe in your power. When you say, I am ready, your actions begin to show it. When you say, I am enough, your energy begins to reflect it. Let tonight be different. Don't just sleep. Prepare. Prepare your spirit, your mind, your future. Speak life into your tomorrow. Say the words that align with the person you're becoming. Because once your mind accepts it, your reality will follow. Every time.